Hi and welcome. This is an update on the next version of Auburn Crown 0.4. A suggestion by Tommy Lee 6401 on the YouTube channel that Viking raiders should not only stop other countries from gaining points through the convoy system, the trade route system, but also gain points for themselves. And I like the idea, and I got to thinking about it because there's a number of reasons why I like the idea. And so I just wanted to go through what I've done, what I've implemented so far, well, what I've implemented in 0.4, how it works, and what it looks like. So if we have a look at this this map here, the section of the map is the main areas where the Vikings would go from Mittelheim and Nordhelm and the Viking regions around the northeast and where they might raid. So we have, when I talk about Viking, I am talking about 5 main countries. Mittelheim, of course, is the major country. Scoresbone is the in the northeast, the Kilmars, east and west, and Nordhelm. So all of them can be used to raid. The ports that are affected are Holtus in Angnord. So if one Viking ship of any of those countries comes within 8 hexes of Holtus, they have an effect. Goodrich, if one of those country ships comes within 5 hexes. For Rakimabad in Malkan, if 2 ships come within 10 hexes. Saffron, 1 ship within 5, and Kadamazar in Malkan, 3 ships within 10 hexes, then they all have an effect. And the effect is that Mittelheim gains 10 gold pieces per ship. So for example, Rakimabad requires 2 ships, therefore it gives 20 gold pieces to Mittelheim, and it removes 20 gold pieces from Malkan in that case. If it was Holtus, the 10 gold pieces would go to Mittelheim, and 10 gold pieces would be taken away from Angnord. The conditions are that Mittelheim must always be mobilized for this to work. So if the major goes down, the raiding, the effectiveness of the raiding stops. The other countries will continue to fight on, but not raiding. The ships must be of the same country, they can't be mixed. So for example, raiding down in Kadamazar requires 3 ships. There has to be 3 ships of Mittelheim, of Nordhelm, Scoresbone, or one of the Kilmars. It cannot be a mixture of those country ships. Now, because the Allies are already on the back foot when it comes to this game, they really have it a lot harder than the adversaries do. And in the interim of actually putting in more permanent sorts of buffs and nerfs, Angnord and Malkan will both be given an extra ship. So Angnord will gain a warship, and Malkan will gain a galley. Alright, so I'll just skip over to the game. I've made Mittelheim and Malkan artificially mobilized for the purposes of this demonstration, and I'll skip over all of the decisions and so forth just to show you what actually happens with the Viking ships. So we'll skip over to that now. Okay, so I've moved just 1 longship, that's all it's going to take, within 8 hexes of Holtus. It could be anywhere in that area of 8 hexes from Holtus, and it will have an effect now. So I'll end the turn, and I'll show you once I've gone through all of the decisions and so forth. I'll cut those out, and I'll show you the end result of that. Alright, so you can see that at the end of that, when we look at what I've been calling the balance sheet, that Mittelheim has gained 10 gold pieces from the raiders around Holtus. So it doesn't appear in a pop-up or anything like that, and I had to think about that. The reason why I didn't want it to appear in a pop-up is because it'll just become really annoying. The other thing is that it's actually, it requires the player to look for this change, and not so much for them, but more so for the Allies, who I'm going to show you now. They need to keep an eye on that, because If they don't, they'll probably start wondering why is it that we're losing all of these gold pieces. Anyway, I'll show you at the end of the Allies' turn what they see. Right, so at the end of the Allies' turn, the message is that they've lost 10 gold pieces from Viking raiders around Holtus. Alright, so 10 is given to Mittelheim, 10 is taken away from Holtus. The next one, I won't go through all 5 of them. We'll go down to Karamazar, the main ones, furthest away, biggest risk, biggest reward, and I'll show you how that one works. One of the reasons that I really like this system, this approach, is that the Allied player will get the message that there's Vikings in an area, but they won't get a message telling them exactly where. So for example, around Karamazar here, the range is 10 hexes. So the Viking ships could be anywhere in that area. The Allied player knows that they're somewhere there, but doesn't know exactly where. I actually quite like that. So anyway, that's the position of the 3 ships that I've brought down here to raid this area. And what we see at the end, I'll skip to that, is that Mittelheim gains the 30 gold pieces from the raids around Karamazar. I'll skip over to the Allies now, and Malkan loses 30 from Viking raiders around Karamazar. Alright, so that's how the system works, and so I'd be interested in your ideas and any comments that you have. As I say, the plan at this stage is to include it in 0.4, or it is included in 0.4, which won't be released for a while because 0.4 has AI for the adversaries, and this is my first time of doing AI, and it's taking me a little while to test it all out and all that sort of thing, so it'll probably be at least a month before it comes out. Alright, that's where I'm going to end it. Thanks for listening, watching, and I'll see you next time.